Free spirits, welcome back. On today's episode of Flying Upstream, we delve into the world of poetry. We'll explore the creative process, the journey of self discovery, and the power of words to heal and inspire. Sit tight and get ready to be uplifted. Joining us today is Reonda Thompson, a talented writer and poet from Kansas City. Reonda is a mother of four and has been published in numerous literary magazines and podcasts. She aspires to become a published author of poetry and children's books. And we have a special surprise today. Reonda has generously written a poem specifically for our podcast, Flying Upstream, and she will read it today for the first time. And we are so excited about that. So stay tuned until the end to hear this live reading. Welcome, Reonda.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for having me today. I'm so excited to be here.
Amazing. So, Reonda, let's get into this because I am so excited to hear about your journey. Now, your journey has been marked by significant personal challenges, including postpartum psychosis and depression. How have these experiences shaped your perspective on life and your creative work?
For me, it has been scary. Um, the thought of wanting to just end it all and commit, just literally commit suicide. I thought, why is this happening to me? Um, Here I am, 36 years old, having another baby, and I'm going crazy, literally. And I had to be hospitalized. And I was embarrassed about what I went through. But as time went on and I regained my memory back, and I looked at my life and I thought, someone else might be going through this. Some other woman might have a baby later on in life as well. And she might want to hear what I have to say and think, oh, well, if she did it and went through it, so can I. So I thought to myself, well, why not me? I can do this. I can be an inspiration to people. I can write something good and I can be something good and I can live through it, and one day it'll be the past. And so um, this coming October will mark 3 years since the incident happened of my postpartum psychosis. And because of that, I'm much stronger. I am writing even more. I'm writing better. I'm writing more confidently. I am expressing who I am as a woman, as a mother, as a poet, and just as an artist, a free spirit.
That's so beautiful. I first want to say thank you for speaking out about this. This is something that happens to so many women that is not talked about. It's hushed. People feel embarrassed and ashamed about it, and it's nothing to feel ashamed about. This is what happens. This is the process of having a baby and what happens sometimes. So, thank you so much for speaking out about it. I know that we have listeners out there that have gone through this and are happy to hear from another woman who has gone through it and come through even stronger. So thank you so much for having the bravery and courage to speak about this. And I'm also curious to know a little bit more about your writing because you mentioned that you're writing more and more creative and better now. How has this um, very serious moment in your life kind of transformed your writing?
Well, it has, because now I feel more blessed. Um, when you get over something that, not necessarily over it, but when you have conquered something bad in your life and you do a self discovery of who you are and where you are now, and you thank God, really, that's the reason why I'm here today. You thank God for living, you thank God for being able to be in your right mind. uh and then, And after a while, you're like, okay, I can thank God for my child. So now I can love him and just really appreciate what I've gone through. Um, the seriousness of my writing comes from those struggles and looking at them as a blessing, because I could have died. So many women do die in childbirth while trying to bring a baby into the world, and um, I'm just blessed and I'm happy that um, I was able to bring my son into the world, and he's a real blessing and a joy. He makes me laugh, and I have a lot of tough times, but things are really good.
I want to also just call attention to how you're putting such a positive spin on this, that we do have the choice to feel sad and depressed about things in our life, which is normal, and we should feel all the feels. And after a while, having a new mindset on that and being grateful for what we do have, even though we may not have a mansion in Beverly Hills, driving a Rolls Royce. We do have the little things in life that make us happy. And I think that mindset shift is an important part of breaking free from societal norms and societal expectations. I know I was certainly told in a variety of ways as a child that it's important to make a lot of money. It's important to wear expensive clothes. This is how you will be successful and well liked in life. And now as an adult, I wear the same sweater I've been wearing for the last 4 years and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And I'm just as happy as I would have been if I was buying a new sweater every week. It doesn't really matter. But having the confidence to shift your mindset is not always not always pushed onto us by society, right? Sometimes, but
Mhm.
not always. And I'm curious to know, Reonda, from your own journey, what are some of the most significant societal pressures that you've encountered as a writer and a mother, and how have you navigated them?
Well, for me, people will say negative things. More so when I was growing up, it would be, oh, you don't have any name brand clothes on. Um, you're ugly. Uh, you live in the hood. I mean, just a lot of mean things. And I take the words that I've been told, and I come in the room, and I am blessed. I'm beautiful. I'm intelligent. I can write very well. I'm a good mother because I love on purpose. I was reading somewhere the other day where it said, it's not your job. It's not the child's job to love you. It's your job to love them. And I thought to myself, well, that's true. I did have these kids, so I'm going to put more of my heart into them. So when I think about when I'm sad or when I'm feeling like the world is over, I'll call my oldest Amari, or I'll play with Luke, or I'll write a poem and uh, I'll write a poem and dedicate it to them, like I did for Valentine's Day. I wrote each of my kids a poem, and they really loved it, and I was happy because words matter. People always remember how you made them feel, and I'm glad that I can express to them my love for them. I'm glad that I can express to them that even though your mother has had a rough time, I will never forget you. I will never forget how you made me feel. You're inspiring to me because my kids, they've been through a lot too. And they are definitely uh my heroes. They are resilient and very smart, and um their futures look bright. They're very bright.
That is, I love that you wrote each of them a poem for Valentine's Day. That is just so meaningful, so sweet, so unique, um, really, really thoughtful. And that's exactly what our world should be, right? Not buying chocolate or flowers or stuffed animals, things that don't last, but something really from the heart is just so beautiful. Um, and I'm curious about, you've talked a little bit about your own journey so far and how you had a lot of negativity in your life as a child. How has that shaped your perspective on life and your creativity? Like being able to take some of this negativity and these very serious moments in your life and put that into your writing, and how does that help you through it?
Well, sometimes I'm very down on myself, and then I tell myself, well, I can't be here in this moment forever. Things change, whether good or bad. So let me clear my mind and think of something to write about. And so when I write, I try to write something that matters, something that's powerful, something that's intense, something that's calming, whether it be about the rain, whether it be about my friends, whether it is about my kids, whether it's about Black History Month, Women's History Month, um, my life as far as overcoming depression. It's an everyday battle. I'm not gonna say that I've overcome it. You haven't overcome until you're no longer living. Meaning that until you left this earth, that's when it's done. That's when life is over. So until then, I'm gonna write, and that's who I am. And I'm not gonna not do what I was born to do.
So tell me a bit too about how, take us back to when you first started writing poetry and what it meant to you at that time and how it's evolved. Um, you've had a lot of things happening in your life that contribute and influence your poetry. How was it when you first started out, kind of coming out of you? What was that experience like?
I started writing at 16, and I didn't know that it was a poem until I got finished. The poem was about my dad's drug addiction. And I was very sad, and I was very hurt, and I didn't know what to do. And actually, I blamed myself for my dad's addiction. I said if my dad wouldn't be doing drugs if I didn't look like this. If I looked better, then he wouldn't do drugs. And I have no idea what that has to do with anything. That has nothing to do with anything. But that's what I did and said. And I just am now um, starting to realize that that's not my fault. It's not my fault. And I'm stronger because I've taken what has gone on in my life. I've grown up, and I see the beauty in what is so ugly.
That's so beautiful. Reonda, my heart goes out to you. Of course, it's not your fault that your father had this drug addiction, I want to reach through technology and give you a big hug right now.
Thank you. And now,
um,
and not putting a bad light on my dad, um now we, even though he's in prison, now we are very close and I love him very much. And even though, things didn't go the way I thought they should have went in my life, but um in a lot of ways, I could take what has gone on with me and, talk to other people about, you don't have to be angry all the time because someone else made their choices in life. We make choices. I don't think about it in a bad way anymore. I use it to strengthen myself. I use it to love on purpose. I'm all about love, and I love writing about love. That's my favorite subject to write about. I love writing about God's love for people, mother to her children, wife to her husband, husband to her wife. I love writing about those things. The love of nature, the love of friends, just even the love that I have for poetry, the
mhm.
love of the love and the power of a pen and paper.
This is just so sweet. I am so appreciating right now the level of resilience that you've had and still have. That you took a very difficult and negative childhood and turned it into these beautiful poems, and you're making other people's lives better too. You're sharing it with the whole world and with people. And that is so powerful. That is so powerful. I hope you never stop writing. Keep going.
Thank you. I won't. I'm so inspired, and it's like once and I have said this, not to be, I'm not gonna be a hypocrite and say, oh, I never said that I'm done with writing, because I have said it many times. And then I'll watch something and I'm like, I can't stop writing. I have to write. I'll write. I'm
That's right.
like
That's yeah, that's being your true authentic self, right? And
especially when I'm reading something, or when I'm watching a documentary, like the documentaries of um Toni Morrison. I watched her documentary, and there was a poet. She just passed away not too long ago, last year, and I cannot think of her name. She's a famous poet, and uh I don't know why I can't think of her name. But anyway, I watched her documentary as well. And a lot of these documentaries about writers and painters, and I also watched a documentary about Fashion Fair, about how they started, and it was called like Beauty in Black or something like that. And just, being a black woman, being beautiful, showing myself that, you are something good. You are the ink, you know, you're putting this to paper, and you're a good representation, and you're not bad, you're not evil, and you're loved, and you're worth it. What you see is something that you can do. It can be attainable. This is your life, and you literally have the words, the gift, the artistry, the testimony, the beauty to do all of it.
yes, absolutely, 100%. Um, and knowing what you've been through, what advice would you give to someone who's struggling with mental health challenges, particularly those who may be feeling isolated or hopeless?
To not give up, to believe in yourself, to pray, to find other ways, to just uh not stop, because everybody's gone through something, no matter how it might seem on the outside. There's a lot of people that I've looked up to, or just, read stories about, and you would never know. that they've been through something unless they tell you. And just because you don't hear about it, or just because you don't see your name in lights yet, you have to be your own shine. You have to do it the way that you want to do it. And that's what I do. And so that's why it takes time to like yourself. If I would have it at 18, no, I didn't arrive. I wasn't my best self at 18, nor even 28. I'm 38 and I'm still not my best self, but I'm arriving. I'm becoming something beautiful, something wonderful, something magical, something relevant, something elaborate, expressive and sexy, and um, I'm becoming someone I like.
Yes, I love that. I love that so much. And I think this speaks directly to going against societal norms, right? As sad as it is to think that learning how to love yourself is against the grain, the reality is that it is. Especially as women, we're not taught, or I wasn't taught anyway as a child, that it's important to love yourself first and then everyone else around you. I was taught it's more important to make sure my parents are happy, that my teachers are happy, my friends like me. Then I can maybe, if I have energy left over, look and see if I like myself. And so the fact that, I and I'm in the same boat. I'm just now taking the time to realize, like, who am I? Who is Kristyn? What does Kristyn like? Never thought about it before, right? And the fact that we are going through this now means that we can pass this on to our children and to the next generation and everyone else that we meet. So for me, that is the silver lining of it, is that, we know what that struggle is like and how terrible it is to not feel pretty every
Yeah.
day. And we get to pass that on, the good vibes of that, onto the next generation. Um, and I want to circle back to you pursuing poetry as a career and facing some discouragement and doubt in that. What would you say is like the biggest challenge that you faced there? And what would you say to any aspiring artists who are also struggling to find their voice or pursue their passions?
Um, Poetry is not what it used to be. It's always been good, and it's always had a that underlining, the undertones. You look at the writers, Alice Walker, Maya Angelou. I actually didn't really read Maya Angelou until I was 30, because, well, by then I was a woman, and I had, really delved into womanhood, and you get older and you understand a lot more. Um there's so many artists, there's so many people out there, the differences, um and when you be yourself, you can appreciate it. You're like, they did what they done, and now I can add to that. So again, like I say, when you be yourself, and when you know that you're good, and you put the words together and you make it make sense, and you hone in your craft, and you don't lie, you tell the truth, not because someone else wants to hear it. You tell it because that's the way it happened, that's the way it is. You wake up and you want to be better than you were before, and you want to be someone that you can look in the mirror and say, I like her, I love her, and I'm happy with that. When I get done with a poem and I like the poem, it's done. That's it. I don't rewrite it. I don't question it. I leave it at that because it's good enough. And I don't doubt myself anymore and say I'm not good enough. No, Not only am I good enough, I'm better than what I think.
Mhm. Absolutely. I know that you are an amazing poet. And I know because we are all about to hear your poem for Flying Upstream. And so, for those who are listening in, this is going to be the global debut of this beautiful poem by Reonda Thompson. So, Reonda, I'll let you take it away and share this very special poem.
Okay. There is freedom in flying, going upstream, being lifted up. The water rejuvenates you. The water rejuvenates your soul, the fighter in you, the one who rebels against social norms, the one who felt like dying but is now reborn. The inertia pushes with gusts of wind, hope, determination. Breathing is easier now. The destination is invisible. The sun is shining. The water is warm. Dive in.
Ah, I love it. Thank you so much, Rihanna. That was beautiful. I appreciate how it builds too, because I feel like that is the journey, right? Not only my
Yes.
journey and Luisa's journey, but are all of our journeys. Like it builds. You don't just snap your fingers and you're a different person overnight. It's a lot
No.
of mini moments that you have to make conscious decisions to change the direction that you're flying, the direction you want your life to go in. That was just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for that, Rihanna.
You're welcome. Yeah, a lot of tears. You'll cry. If you're real and you passionate, you'll cry. Um, you'll get angry at a lot of the mistakes you made, but that's only human. You have to be in touch with the human side of yourself. You can't pretend like you're not a real person. And I think that's what a lot of people I think that's where a lot of people go wrong because they want to put on a show for somebody. They want to be fake. I'm not. And that's why I'm so good at what I do is because I'm real. I'm a
Mhm.
real person. I have real feelings. I've really been through these things and I'm not afraid to talk about it. I'm not embarrassed anymore. And I am who I am. I was made to write. I was made to create. I was made to love what I do. And
Yes.
finally, at 38, almost 39, I am loving Reonda Louise Thompson.
Ah, yes. I love that. Love that. And you know what? It comes through in your writing. We can really tell. It really does.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Well, unfortunately, we've got to wind down a little bit, but we've got one last question for you.
Okay.
So interested to know where you go from here. So, what are your hopes and dreams for the future of your writing? And is there anything special you're working on now?
Well, I like to enter contests. I always keep writing through contests. I am writing so I can publish a book. I want to publish a book, and when I do that, then I'll do more. So I just want to get myself published and become an author, and then just always keep writing, whether it's for people, whether it's for literary magazines, whether it's for special occasions or whatever. I always want to be doing what I love to do.
It's beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Rihanna, for sharing your powerful words and your insights and your insights with us today. Your story of resilience and your honest exploration of the human condition through poetry is truly, truly inspiring. Your vulnerability and willingness to share your journey with us is a gift. And for our listeners out there, we encourage you to connect with Rionda's work. You can find more of Rionda's poetry on Instagram at Lovely Rionda and on her website, elaborate poet, sorry, on her website at elaborate poetic expressions at .weebly.com, both of which will be linked in our show notes and in the YouTube description. And a great reminder for our free spirits that you are not alone in your journey to authenticity. Keep exploring the world around you, keep nurturing your creativity, and keep flying upstream. Until next time.